Hi everyone, Greeno here, and welcome to a brand new series on my channel. So many of you will have been following along with my series with Euro Truck Simulator 2, and now I've decided it's time to hop across the pond. We're going to run around America too, with some American Truck Simulator. Let's go! So here we are in the new game. I selected a Volvo as my preferred brand of truck. Of course I don't own one yet. Only picked that because I'll pick the same in the Euro Truck Simulator game, so it seemed consistent to me. I've decided to set my headquarters in Los Angeles. No particular reason behind that, apart from it's really the only place in the States I've ever been. So I thought, why not? It's got to be a fairly big city. You'd think there's going to be quite a lot of industries there. That might come in helpful as we get through the game. But for now, of course, we're just starting out. We've got no cash, no lorries of our own. Only quick jobs for us to do. Let's go and see if we can pick one up and get going. And so, I found my first job. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking this lorry load of frozen food from LA down to a place called Yuma in Arizona. As you can see, the route there, it's going to take us through a number of towns, or at least close to them. Carlsbad there, San Diego, El Centro, and then we'll end up in Yuma, which looks just over the border into Arizona, right down by the Mexican border, the bandit country. I think that's a pretty cool thing. Obviously, because we're only doing quick jobs at the moment, that means we get to drive all sorts of different trucks. I'm going to take a bit more advantage of this, hopefully, I think, than I did in Euro Truck Simulator, whereby I'm going to try and work out which trucks I'd like to drive myself, rather than just buying the one I liked right at the start. So yeah, we're going to try a few different ones out over this this period until we actually get enough cash together to buy our own rig. First up, it looks like we've got a Kenworth here. Doesn't look terribly aerodynamic, but we'll give it a go. Yeah, so I'm going to go and get it hooked up, and we'll get underway. Right, so here we are, folks. We are in our first truck that we're going to be using. Let's have a little look at it. Fairly nondescript looking. Like I say, it's a bit of an odd shape. Doesn't appear to be terribly aerodynamic, but it is what it is. So this is full up of frozen food, so we'd better get underway, I guess. We don't want it to defrost in this Californian heat. Now, as we get into this series, I'm going to caveat this with I have never driven in the States. I say I've only ever actually been to the States once, which was a trip to California, Southern California. I was visiting the company I work for, who are based in Orange County. So I flew into LA, but basically just Ubered everywhere and had colleagues picking me up and taking me places. So I have no idea what any of the traffic regulations are. We will find out as we go along. It should be interesting. But this all looks kind of familiar to me as a sort of LA-ish kind of outlook. Palm trees around. Low-rise kind of stuff everywhere. The road seems to be in a bit better condition than I remember the ones that were there. I remember not being terribly impressed with the state of the roads, but there we are. So yeah, so this is going to be a bit of an education for me as much as anything else, playing on this this series, because my knowledge of US geography is not great, it has to be said. Anyone who's been watching my Euro Truck Simulator series will know I'm pretty well versed on what goes on all around Europe. I've been to a lot of places, but the States, not a clue. So we'll be learning together as we go along. And I'm sure there'll be a million different things I get wrong, which you guys can correct me on in the comments. So, I'm going to get going. We've got about a 5-hour drive ahead of us. It's going to be interesting with this because we're in miles an hour rather than kilometres an hour. So that's something I'm going to have to get used to a little bit. But for now, it all seems pretty smooth, even though this is a fairly heavy load, nearly 40 tonnes. And this isn't the greatest truck in the world. We seem to be doing okay. So yeah, we'll see how we go. We're heading south down towards the Mexican border. Okay, so we've just made our way out of LA. One thing I have already noticed in the game, which is very different to Euro Truck Simulator, the amount of traffic lights. Of course, in Europe, we are much more fond of a roundabout to keep the traffic flowing on various junctions, whereas in the States, it looks like it's pretty much traffic lights all the way. So it's a fair amount of waiting around for that, which is possibly going to be a little bit frustrating, but we'll get used to it, I'm sure. Okay, so this is the highway outside of LA. One thing that is definitely not very realistic about this is the traffic is moving. Anyone who's ever been anywhere around LA will know it's pretty much gridlock most of the time. I mean, here we are, just after midday on a Monday. Barely a car on the road, which is, yeah, not exactly realistic, but I'm thankful for it. It also seems a little bit greener than I would expect. It's like, having been to this part of the world, it's a fairly arid old place. Yeah, the scenery with the hills and whatever looks about right, but I don't remember it looking quite as green as this. Kind of more scrubby and more, well, almost deserty. You know what I mean? Because climate kind of lends itself to that. California's a bit of an odd place in my opinion. Why so many people would want to base themselves in what is effectively a desert is beyond me. You know, it's very nice having the Pacific coast and all that sort of thing. Some very nice places down there, but to have major population centres where there's basically no water seems a bit odd, but there we are. It is what it is. Anyway, we're going to keep on going. We've got about 4 hours to go. We're just passing by Carlsbad here, so we're not picking that up as we go past by the looks of it, which is a little bit of a shame. Maybe I should have adjusted the route so that we nipped in there, but there we are. Such is life. We'll pick it up another time. And yeah, I think we're heading down towards San Diego now, so maybe I will nip in there and try and grab that on the way past if it doesn't give it to me on the highway. Right, let's keep on trucking. Okay, so I did decide to come off the highway and go into San Diego, and there is an achievement by the looks of it for picking up all the cities in California, called California Dreaming. So that's something for us to keep an eye on, see if we can go straight on. Make our way through that. I don't know what happens at these kind of junctions. Oh, we've got a green light there. Okay, we just plough through it then. Now there's a couple of question marks off here to the right hand side. Now these will either be truck dealerships or recruitment agencies, I expect. So I'm going to nip off and pick them up. Obviously when you're starting out in the game, you're just a hired driver. You don't own any trucks. So yeah, you're just going around picking up quick jobs, trying to get a little slush fund of cash together so that you can start your own business. So while you're doing that, it is helpful to go around looking for all of these little question marks where you'll find truck dealerships, where you'll find recruitment agencies, so that when you are up and running, you have got more options of places to go to buy a truck or to hire your drivers. So it's always worth picking them up on the way around. So let's go and have a little look here and see what we have here in San Diego. So the first one is off here on the left hand side. What are we going to find down this street? Oh, nothing yet. Can we turn left there? There's no road markings, so it's not very helpful to let you know where you're supposed to stop or whatever. I mean, I'm guessing we're doing the right thing here. Like I say, I don't really know, because not having driven in the States, I'm sure we'll find out as I start racking up the traffic violations. Off we go now. We'll take a left turn here, sorry, and see what's down this road. So the little green icon there that you can see tells you where the thing you're picking up is. So we've got a recruitment agency there, okay, direct hire. So when we want to start looking for drivers, that's one place that we can find them. Right, let's see if we can get through here before the lights change. Is it going to give it to us? Just about. We were okay. I thought we might get caught there with a red light violation. But We made it through all right. Okay, so we take a right turn here. An ice cream truck there. I'm sure they'll be doing great business in California. Nice sunny weather. Probably a decent industry to be in. Okay, so here on the right-hand side, we can see truck dealership for the Peterbilt brand. So can we pick this up just by driving past it, or do we have to drive into it? There we are, we've got it. Okay, that's good. Okay, so that's 2 things picked up in San Diego. Let's head off. Oh, some kids skateboarding here. I've noticed already, actually, in the American Truck Simulator, there seems to be a lot more human life around. Pedestrians and that sort of thing, which you don't see too much of in the Euro Truck Simulator series, so maybe that's another hazard I've got to look out for. Pedestrians in the street. You don't want to be running anyone over. It's not Grand Theft Auto or anything, is it? So, okay, right, I'm going to keep on trucking. We're coming out of San Diego now. We will catch up when we get somewhere interesting. Okay, so this is something a little bit different to Euro Truck Simulator. I've been asked to pull in to a weigh station. So we're going to come in here. So we have to stop on the scale to submit to an inspection. I guess this is just to make sure that we're not overweight or anything like that. But yeah, we don't get this in Euro Truck Simulator, so we better do as we're told. Okay, so we've been weighed, they're happy, we can get underway again. I wonder if this is something that happens all the time, or whether it's just unlucky I got caught by the first one. I don't know, I mean it could disrupt your journey a little bit, particularly if you're pushed for time, having to stop, but I'm sure we won't get called over for them all the time. But one thing you'll notice here, which I've spotted already with this particular truck, is that it's a bit sluggish pulling away. We're only on 370 horsepower with this unit, and we've got quite a heavy load behind us, about 40 tons, and it does not like it very much. It's fine once you get up to speed, but until you do, it's a bit of a slog. So something like this, where you've got not a particularly steep gradient or anything, but it's a struggle. You know, I've got my foot to the floor here, and we're not accelerating at all. We're stuck in the sort of low 30 miles an hour. So, looking forward to getting a bit deeper into the series where I can buy and upgrade my own trucks and start powering around a little bit more. I guess that sort of thing's going to be pretty important when you start doing deliveries into places, you know, around the Rocky Mountains or whatever. You're going to need a little bit of oomph to be getting up and down some of those bigger hills. So, anyhow, it is what it is for now. We're just starting out. We're rookies. All we can do is drive the trucks that we're given and see how we get on. Not far to go now. Just a couple of hours. I think there was one other town on the way here that we might try and stop at if I spot it on the way. It was called El Centro or something. So, yeah, we'll try and nip in there and pick that one up as we go along. Count towards the California Dreaming achievement. So we might as well cross it off the list in case we never come back here for a job. So, it's given me El Centro without me having to come off the freeway. So that's good. I had clicked a little point what I thought was close to the city centre, just in case, which would have involved coming off at this junction here and taking around a sort of 30-minute detour into the city. But thankfully, we didn't need to. Now, this is kind of more the scenery I was expecting in this part of the world. As you can see, it's pretty arid looking. Not a lot of greenery around. A few big hills in the background there. Yeah, this is the sort of scenery I'm expecting from this neck of the woods. Right, not far to go now. Only about 45 minutes, so we will catch up when we get close to the destination. obviously we've got to cross a state line as well, so that'll be pretty cool. Okay, so we have discovered the city of Yuma, which again starts another achievement, Copper State, which I guess is the nickname for Arizona. There was no big sort of state line kind of deal going on. I expected some signs and whatever welcoming me into Arizona, but didn't see anything. Yeah, this looks kind of cool. Little river there down onto the left-hand side. Very nice. Oh, here's the Arizona state line. That's why. Because we hadn't crossed it. So let's have a look at this sign here. Arizona. The Grand Canyon State. Okay, and now we've entered the city limits of Yuma here. It's looks a fairly nondescript little place, doesn't it? Can't even see any question marks of things that we need to pick up in here. Maybe there are as we delve a bit further into the city, but nothing I can see yet. So just a few little industries here. Yuma is not a city I know anything about. Isn't there a film?
Keep right.
Yuma in the title. Is it a 310 to Yuma or something like that? Not sure.
Turn right.
Okay, so where are we delivering? Into this Walbert by the looks of it. Okay, so let's turn right here. And look out for the little green icon. There it is on the right hand side. Just swing around in here. Okay, so what kind of drop-off have we got? So we got a parking job we can attempt round the back there, or we can just drive it in. Well, I think we're going to try as much as possible to do all the parking jobs in this series. Now I know this isn't going to always be easy. Because the handling on some of these trucks is not going to be as good as it was for the trucks I've been using in Euro Truck Simulator. So it could be a little bit more difficult, and I think some of the loads here are going to be longer as well, which will be a bit of a challenge. Now, there's not much room here to sort of swing around. I can see the little spot there. The white markings tell me where they want me to pull into. So what I've got to try and do, I think, is come around like this and then get the back end as close as I can to there and straighten up as much as possible. Like I say, there's not an awful lot of space here to do so. Okay. Right, so I'm going to try and have a few attempts at this parking. I'll come back when I get close. Okay, I think I'm getting somewhere close now. It's taken me a few attempts. Oh, it's giving it to me. There we go. So yeah, that was 4 or 5 different attempts trying to get the angle right. Couldn't quite manage it, but we've got there. So it's given me 396 XP. That's leveled me up. Obviously, you rattle through the levels fairly quickly at this point. So let's have a little look what we'd like to add here. So there are various different options you can add. Hazardous cargo, long distance, high value cargo, fragile cargo, just-in-time delivery, and fuel economy. Now I think I'm probably going to leave the long distance for now. I think as long as I can pick up decent value jobs, anything in the sort of 5 to 6 hour range is pretty good for now. So what I'm going to start doing is adding some high value cargo for now, I think. That seems like a sensible thing to do, and hopefully that means we're going to get some better paid jobs, even if they're not very long ones. Right, so that is episode 1 in the can. I quite enjoyed that. It was a little bit different. Like I say, the truck drives very differently to the ones I'm used to in Euro Truck Simulator, and obviously not having the roundabouts, having traffic lights everywhere was different, but I think overall the feel of the game was very nice. I'm really looking forward to charging around the States and finding out a bit more about it. Well, I hope you enjoyed it too. If you did, I'd be really grateful if you drop a like on there for me. Help this get in front of more people. And if you've got any comments about this episode, or anything you'd like to point out about American Truck Simulator, any places you think I should go, I would love to see them in the comment section below. And of course, if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, click on that little button and ding your bell for notifications so you won't miss any of the upcoming content. But it just remains me to thank you for watching, and I will see you soon for some more action here with American Truck Simulator. Bye for now.